Hey folks, it's Brett with Mahogany Marie in the 11th hour. So this is day one of coronavirus self-isolation. So decided to go ahead and talk about my guitar collection, since I seem to be known for that around the band, that I have many guitars because I think they're art and I love collecting them. So I figured I'd start talking about, number one, what started it all, and I still have it. It's this wonderful Univox guitar, my very first acoustic. It rattles. It's not all in tune. But I still own it. And the pickguard fell off years ago. I started playing when I was 12. And this was my first guitar. And it actually does not play all that bad, and don't remember it sounding all that bad. But yeah, this is number one. So figured I'd show it. And that's all. Okay, number two. Finally, I got serious about guitar, and my parents were nice enough to get me this 1977 Guild D35. It was brand new. My guitar teacher went with my mother and myself from Rome to Atlanta to Dirty Don's warehouse in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, we went to a bunch of different places. I think we went to Rhythm City, or we called it affectionately Riplem Silly. And he picked through a bunch of guitars until we found something he thought that it would be good for me. So my parents got me this, and this is what finally broke the seal of my awesomeness, because I love this thing. Played the crap out of it. Learned lots of stuff. He taught me finger picking, the whole and do that and do it correctly. Green sleeves. Haven't played that in years, but finger picking was big with him, and flat picking. He taught me all that good flat picking stuff. That kind of stuff, which still holds true today, because a lot of the songs I write still have very much flat picking and finger picking in it. But this is the number two guitar that I got, and didn't even touch an electric for years. So I don't think I even touched an electric till I was 14, maybe 15. So all I ever got to play was acoustic guitar. So this was number two. Still have it. I think I have most of all my guitars. That's why I have so many. But I love this one, and I appreciate my parents for giving me this. So it's a 1977 Guild D35. For those who care. Okay, guess what? First electric. Yes. Christmas of 1979. My parents figured issues, so I don't play it anymore. Christmas of 1979. I was surprised with this guitar. And my first amp, which was a Lab Series L5, the B.B. King fans in the Ty Tobor from King's X, big L5 player. I still have it too. But this was my first electric. It's a 1978 Guild S300A. They actually had an S300D, which had the Marzio pickups, but this one has the Guild style pickups. Has an ebony fingerboard, and this thing has really low action, which helped me. And it is actually one of my nicer playing guitars, but it's not I'd rather leave it at home, so I do. I don't play it anymore. Mostly it's in the case or it's hanging on the wall, like these back here. So I'm going to try going through chronological order, but these are all the early guitars. Like I said, I was however old I was in Christmas of '79. I actually have a picture of me seeing my amp for the first time holding this guitar, and my parents were wise enough to at least take a picture of that. So when they surprised me with the amp too, that's when it all changed, and electric was in my world, in my future. So I still play a lot of acoustic, but I have a lot more electrics than I do acoustics because I love them so much. But yeah, Guild S300A 78. Has a coil tap, I believe. I never really could figure out exactly the sound because mostly I was playing the distortion anyways. I'm not sure if it's a coil tap or a phase switch, but I've never understood. It only works the best in the center position. Much more honkier. Sounds like a phase. But I'm not even sure if these are very well wax potted pickups because I know later in life I plugged this in with some higher gain amps and it squealed like a beaten schoolgirl. Just screamed like a unwax potted pickup will. But yeah, that's it. It's a cool guitar. I would still play it, and I might, but if it truly squeals, then I can't. But like I said, I like to just keep it in the case or hang it on the wall. That's it. Okay, number 3. So I went really vintage with my third guitar purchase. I can't even remember where I got this. I can't remember who I bought it from. I can't remember how much I paid for it. All I know is it is because I love Guild. I had a Guild acoustic, Guild electric, so I might as well go for a Guild. This is a 1968 Guild Starfire Cherry Red with a Bixby. So I could... That's about the only song, Women by Foreigner, that we played that I actually used the Bixby on. But so, yeah, I love playing this guitar. I actually shoved socks in there to keep it from feedback because, of course, it's chambered. Also, one thing I did to it was actually have a Guild, actually purchased a bridge instead of the floating one that used to be on there, and have it permanently installed. So I did do that upgrade. It probably killed the value of this thing. Who knows? I have the original case. But I don't play this one anymore. I'd rather it hang on the wall and stay pretty. I pull it out every once in a while, but it still just looks pretty. Hangs on the wall. So I probably got this one in 80, maybe 81. I know I wasn't out of high school. So it's got Grover tuners, and the Guild pickups that are in it. So that is this thing, 68. Okay, keeping in the high school years of guitar purchases, which is most of my really vintage guitars happened when I was in high school. So this is probably my heaviest, most vintage, cool, quote, air quotes, guitar. It is a 1977, I believe, the Les Paul Artisan. and with the 3 pickups in it, and of course, dumb me, I replaced the bridge pickup, and I lost the cover, and one of my mother of pearls has fallen out, and I can't find it in the case anymore. So, but I do know that I got this when I was probably a junior in high school, or the summer between junior and sophomore, and I paid $550 for it because I remember I cut lawns and did work and did everything to save up bucks for this one, and bought these two, this one and the next guitar, from the same guy. But this was I mean, it talked to people I know, and they basically say, you know, it definitely sounds like mud, clean sound, unless you're just, it doesn't sound good, and I don't ever play it anymore. One, it's too heavy, it's too vintage, it's too pretty to take anywhere live, so I just leave it hanging on the wall with all my other vintage guitars, and next to the Starfire you just saw. And well, that's about it. 70, I got the original Archil case with it too, but don't have the pick cover or the pickup. I have no idea where it went, or the mother of pearl. And I remember I found it. It fell off in the case, and I had it, but I lost it. So, but still, pretty guitar. It plays great. It does. It plays wonderfully. But got too many other guitars that I'd rather take out. So 77 Guild. See, I love Guild. Gibson Les Paul Artisan. Okay, there we go. Pre-CBS. See, no Fender logo. Pre-CBS Jazzmaster. Unfortunately, it was pre-stripped of all of its paint, so I don't know what color it originally was. No logo. Somebody replaced the nut with a brass nut, and I don't believe that this toggle switch was originally brass, but everything else is somewhat original, and I don't think that Tune-O-Matic was the one that was on it. So definitely had things done to it, but still was a great. It has gorgeous tiger maple neck, and it plays great and sounds like a Jazzmaster. But I think it's a 68. Might be younger. No, I forget 68. Whatever Jazzmaster pre-CBS is, but that's what year this is. I've looked up the serial number. So yeah, I played this one on several different songs and bands in the high school arena. It doesn't have a case, so I hesitate taking it anywhere. And it has its issues like this. So, once again, it hangs on my vintage wall next to the Artisan and next to the Starfire. So I have, I think, only one more high school guitar before I went off to college, and that's next. Okay, here is the last guitar I think I bought when I was in high school. This is a Fender Mustang. And if you'll notice, just like the Jazzmaster, it has been stripped of all of its paint. I do believe it used to be yellow. It is not as pre-CBS. It's the Fender logo. Everything else, pretty much original that's on it. This one's got an interesting story. There was a pawn shop in Rome, Georgia, had a music store above it. I used to frequent that all the time looking for deals, and they had this guitar sitting behind the counter in the case, and I asked to look at it, and the person said, I'll go get the owner and see what they'll take for it. So he came upstairs to the bargain loft, I think is what it was called. This guy, I was old enough to drive, so I must have been a sophomore or it's junior, don't remember. And popped up in the case in front of the guy, gave him the whole, well, yeah, it's been stripped, all the paint's stripped off of it, blah, gave him that sob story. And he goes, well, how about $35? So I ran home, gathered my nickels, pennies, dollars, whatever I could gather in cash to get $35. Came back and bought it. And then that night, had a friend of mine offer me $100 for it, and I said, no way, my win, I will take it all day long. Here's the interesting thing about it. It had to have been stolen. All the paint was stripped off of it. And the case is this case, the original case. And if you look here at the tuner, what do you think that is? That's spray painted as all get out, even the silver. Right over it. Spray painted it with that closed on both of them. Same thing over here. Now here, I put these stickers on here, but if you look on the right, see there's writing on there? See how this is? There's an M. OODYBLUES. Yes, it actually had Moody Blues spray painted right across here, and they spray painted over the top of it. Now, they only did the front, they didn't do the back. That's the original case. That's spray painted. And like I said, that and this, it's spray painted over it. So, damn well knew it was stolen. I didn't care. But I put these stickers on it. Well, I was a dumb kid. But yeah, you can plainly see where it says Moody Blues. I don't think you can get the right light. Right there, you can see it. You see that B, that giant B was obvious. That's when I first noticed it. Moody Blues. I looked up on the internet if truly the Moody Blues had a Fender Mustang stolen from them. Haven't found anything. I do believe that is all the guitars, unless I have a brain fart and forgot. Then I really started going off to college and doing that before I came back, finished college, and went nuts with buying guitars. But I had a few in college. I'll show those next. That'll be the next time, next episode. So those are all my guitars from high school. High school was from 78 to 82 in Rome, Georgia. And that is the start of it all. That Guild S300A was my first guitar in my first band. And then I played those three, the Les Paul Artisan, the Guild Starfire, and that other Guild were my big three go-to guitars in the band. And I had a couple of extra ones. I had a Hagstrom, and I had some other crap that I got rid of. Very rarely do I get rid of stuff. I have so many guitars because I keep them all. Very rarely have I sold or given away or trashed guitars, but I keep most of them, have most of them. That's why I have a lot. So I will go into college days of guitar in episode 2. So thanks for watching. Coronavirus, wash your hands. Day 1, sequester.